Alright guys, what's going on? It's a best of 5 semifinals. Clem up against Cure. Cure has been destroying opponents left, right, and center, as has Clem, but let's be real, Clem hasn't really met any stiff opposition just yet. He's done a very greedy opening so far. The reason we're commentating only from 4 minutes in this semifinals is because these players like to play their games and play them quickly. We just finished the previous match. They immediately vetoed and got into this, and I had to eat some lunch, or I was going to die. So I've been smashing a peanut butter sandwich. I just speed ran it. We got it down in about 4 minutes. It was a big sandwich too. There's a lot of peanut butter on there. Hopefully my mouth isn't too gumped up, as that is a nice shutdown so far by Clem. Shoots down the medevac, and he's got Blink ready. So he sacrifices a probe. He accidentally blinks the Stalker too close to the third Widowmine. So he does lose a Stalker and a probe, but that is a amazing shutdown. And with a build where you've already got a third base started about 4 at 20, that's huge. Now there's a Raven coming across. There is a crisp second and third barracks here for Cure, so it's not like he's in a terrible position, but it's not the start that he was looking for. The units lost tab tells the story, and that is of Clem being in control. Stalkers and Observer move across the map. There's a Phoenix on hallucination to check there's no all-in behind this. This is the first vision Clem's got. Like I said, he played a greedy opening. It was like one of these gas first, kind of no scout, super greedy build. Gotten away with it, and I think obviously, Cure would have loved to have done an all in this game. Would have loved to have done a proxy marauder. Would have got himself probably a free win. Pig, Clem fought Perceive. Don't do him dirty like that. Isn't Perceive like a 4.8, 5k player? No offense, but that's like, you know, I wouldn't call myself stiff opposition either. Reaper does get pushed back. Big difference between Percival and Perceive, I think. It was a joke. I just check it. I'm like, do you think Perceive's Percival or like something like that? Like, he's got some cute strats. All right, Auto Turret doesn't get much, man. So this is pretty good D for Clem, but Clem's been shaky lately. There's a bunch of people who are like, dude, Clem's not good at StarCraft anymore. We put up a whole bunch of videos. I was looking at my comments, because Hero smashed him a few weeks in a row, and someone else did as well. People were like, yeah, Clem's too emotional, he's not good enough. He might be good at clicking, but he's not good at thinking. You know, there's standard accusations. I think Clem's still very good. Who knows how distracted he was during that week of online tournaments. He plays so many games that I think, you know, people sometimes do jump to conclusions. Don't get me wrong, Clem's never been as consistent as some of the other players. And when he is a little off his game with his kind of aggressive, chaotic style, it does lead to games slipping away in sudden, brutal fashions when he's not playing his A game. But we'll find out. I think this series is going to tell us which version of Clem is showing up today. Hero is likely to win the other side of the bracket and face the winner of this match in the grand finals. Extended Thermal Lance is not quite there. +1 though, only just now starting. It's a very late upgrade for Cure. And that's a ton of Zealots. Oh, this is an easy shutdown for Clem. The tanks don't get to do anything. The Stalk is gunning down the medevacs. This is a greedy build into an absolute shutdown. And that is the power of opening game 1 with a no scout gamble. Getting greedy, shutting down the first mine drop. Cure finds himself up shit creek without a paddle. A very tough situation to find himself in. Medevac and Raven go down. The Widowmine there. Good old position for Clem to minimize the splash damage. He actually lets a bit more of the bio escape than I thought he would, but he is pursuing now with the Colossus in tow. We've got the Forge about to finish up behind it. Clem probably thinking about dropping a 4th base, and the bio's just too overstimmed. Even though this is not that big a Protoss army, the Zealots trickling in, the bio is so damaged, and that 3rd CC is incredibly vulnerable. He's waiting for Blink to be ready so he can set off the Widowmine. There's actually an Observer right there, so he doesn't need to do this fancy move. And actually, he's going to potentially lose a unit. He does. The Observer could have just moved to the left and he could have killed it. That was kind of hilarious. Clem getting a bit fancy, a bit excited. He is macroing and microing, of course, at the same time. Extended Thermal Lance is now done. The Colossus doing good damage. 3rd command center goes down. Widowmine gets a good shot, but Clem has complete control over this game. I think he senses victory is within his grasp. He baits the stim. Whenever he baits a stim, he pulls back and he says, I'm going to let you take all the drugs and damage your own units as much as you want, mate. The bunker finally falls, and it looks like that should spell the end of game 1 for Cure. This is one of those frustrating games where you feel like you can't get anything done. Cure has to be clever here, and he has to really think to himself, do not freak out. He played a greedy as heck opening and shut down my first harassment. That's a slippery slope. You don't recover against any good pro gamer from there unless you're incredibly lucky. And against Clem and his Protoss, very unlikely. That's just a good start. You have to just clear the slate, clear your mind, and go into game 2 as if it's game 1 of this series. All right, guys, Clem with a nice game 1. Now he's going to open up a bit more standard. He goes for a quick scout across the map. I think a gateway scout. And Cure is going to go for the engineering bay block here on a Ruby Rock. Barracks gas, eBay block. That's going to be quite frustrating. Clem will have to take a third base. See how Cure tries to take advantage of that. This is going to be, I think, a bit more of a dynamic game and one where it should be interesting. Pig, what is this link? It looks so suspicious. That's not, no, that's like, I mean, it's my bot's posting it for a reason. It's her portfolio. There's her Twitter account and her portfolio. If you guys want to check out who makes my pixel art background many years ago. Artists don't really get paid enough. So, just because we commissioned it doesn't mean we shouldn't give a bit of advertising to who created such beautiful art. eBay gets cancelled. Third base at the front's being taken for Clem. This base, very vulnerable. We often see tanks push after this base is forced. See if that's the case in this game. Or if Cure just tries to play a normal macro game and maybe fake him out a little bit. Do we see Hellions? Factory going down here. Could just be to create a wall off, put a tank there, cover the ledge, right? Yeah, starport here, tank here. Could also be to swap it over and build Hellions as well, though. Hellions very popular after forcing such an awkward nexus. Even if you just build 2, makes the Protoss have to play so defensive and careful. Thank you, Deathbull, for the Twitch Prime sub, as well as Villain. Appreciate you guys. Okay, so the Stalker on the high ground, it's Stalker into Sentry. Now, this is interesting. I remember back in the day, we used to always play Phoenix against this. People have gotten so good at defending with just Twilight openings. In this case, it'll be a very delayed Twilight because he's gone Sentry. I wonder if he builds an early second gateway, like very soon after. I guess he still goes Twilight first, but I wouldn't mind a second gateway. I think you have to defend this front base no matter what. Like, you're never going to give it up, so it's okay to build infrastructure out there. Extra tanking power potentially in a fight. Pig, why can't Clem ever give us a banger TvT? Q is one of the Terrans he had one of the worst win rates against, actually, in TvT. I think he's very happy to dodge that matchup and play Protoss. He's got a very good winning record against Q. Even Q has beat him a fair bunch of times, but I mean, there are so many best of 3s for like a 6-month period where Clem barely dropped a map to Q. These days, it's feeling like it's a bit more competitive. I think Q understands how to play against Clem, and Clem makes even a few small mistakes. Q will punish him for them. I like this Reaper hide. I really love this. He's just waiting. Might come in sniper probe going for the 3rd, or even catch a rallying probe. Stalker sentry coming forward. Command center goes down. No bunker this game for Cure. Which means these Stalkers and sentries could actually harass the natural, but you can see Clem's just kind of like scouting around. He's like, what's going on? I think he wants to catch the medevac coming out. But look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Threading the needle. Clem doesn't see it. You're kidding me. Clem does not see it. And the Reaper runs into the main. He's going to kill 1 probe. Maybe even get a 2nd if he's lucky. Or he could run away. Dude, imagine if he gets this probe here and denies the Nexus. Oh, it's so annoying. And he doesn't know about the Widowmine drop coming in. The Reaper's like giving the middle finger to the Stalker and saying, hey, hey, idiot, follow me, follow me, follow me. If he clicks that away, it would have even escaped, but he's not paying attention. Widowmine on the high ground is going to get a big boom. 3 probes. Ooh, and look at that. Gets a Widowmine in the main as well. Oh, another 2 or 3 go down. Dude, great opening here for Cure, creating some chaos. And Clem, I don't know if he's even noticed this one. I don't think he's noticed that Widowmine on the high ground, guys. And that's the problem. If that fires again, it could get an even bigger shot. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Oh my gosh. He doesn't know. And there comes the tracking line. And bam! Another 4 probes. Oh. Clem's like, what is happening, bro? What's going on? It's on the high ground, man. Finally, the Stalker comes over. And look at that. The Marine tank Viking push is coming. This is game. I don't see you defending this push. He's still struggling to deal with the mine drop in the back. He's got 3 Stalkers there, nothing on the front. He sees an army. It's already at his doorstep. And this is just lights out. There's no way you stop this with a sentry, 4 Stalkers, and a battery. Tanks are sieged, in range of the Robo. If that Robo goes down, that's a disaster. And there's no ifs or buts. That Robo will go down almost instantly. Widowmine goes back in the main, knowing everything's being pulled to the front. Blink forward for Clem. Oh, but he can't quite finish the tank. He gets it finally. He just lost 10 probes in the main, and he taps out. That is a great recovery for Cure. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Game one looked really, I think, one-sided. I think anyone can look at that, and if you're not super paying attention to the openings, which unfortunately I was eating a peanut butter sandwich, so I apologize for that, guys. Like I said, it was a gas burst, no scouting at all, super greedy opening, and we saw him shut down the Widowmine drop. You could think, oh, Clem's way out of Cure's league. Here you see a more even or even better opening for the Terran, and it looks the complete opposite way. All right, guys, bottom right side, Clem goes for the early block on the command center with a pretty standard scout, and there's a Reaper on the way as well. All right, we've got the probes there as well. Stalkers are on the way, Warp Gate as well. Apparently starch crystallizes the more humid it is. It's super dry in my room because we have aircon on in here. Sorry, guys. Having a debate here about Panetti doesn't understand that bread can dry out. Yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe it does crystallize more from humidity. You could be totally right. But in this case, no. It's just air. That's all. We're gonna have to educate because we're having struggles understanding this. Bread goes stale primarily due to starch retrogradation, a process where starch molecules recrystallize, push out water, causing the bread to harden, while moisture lost to the environment contributes to dryness. The main issue is migration of moisture inside the bread, moving from the soft center to the crust, changing the starch structure. Interesting. So moisture loss to the environment is often the main cause, though apparently humidity can perhaps increase bread going stale. I don't know why that's the case. It's retrogradation called it. Yeah, is that a made-up word, guys? Sounds like a made-up word, hey. Anyway, Reaper's already got a probe. Blink is on the way. Sorry for being so distracted this series, guys. But yeah, second gate and Robo's on the way. Pretty chill opening. This is a big map tighter. Hard for Terran to push on this map. I'd say if Clem wins this one, it's going to be a very interesting series. If Clem loses this, I think QR3 wins him. Because this will be the second Protoss map pick, I believe, for Clem. Sorry, guys. So distracted. I don't know if I'm being baited or not, but I'm like, do people actually not know that if you leave bread out, like a slice of bread in the air, it just gets shitty very quickly? Is this actually hidden knowledge? There's like 3 people who were confused about it in chat. Only one who kept talking about it. But I'm just like, that's like such a normal thing. Everyone knows that. Like, that's why you've got to always wrap your bread up, you know, push the air out of the bag so people keep their bread protected in bread bins, or you don't slice it up so the crust protects it, right? Which is pretty standard stuff if you're using non-sliced bread. But you leave a slice of bread out in the open, it's going to get crappy pretty quickly. Widowmine drop's going to go into the main. 3 barracks there. Raven's on the way. Tank as well. Oh, here we go. Going down that right side. He's going to go into the back here. But Clem's on top of it. And there's nothing to distract. The Alien Reaper gets kind of, you know, just a rise out of a single Stalker, and that's it. You can see these Stalkers happy to pick it off there with the Observer. Nice surveillance mode. Medevac stuck in the back. He's not even going to try to hunt it. Clem's going to go directly across this map. And I got to say, I'm not a believer in the Widowmine drop opening, guys. I know it worked game 2, but that was an awkward position. And he completely didn't get spotted on the way across the map. And Clem was out of the map. I don't think he should keep opening Widowmine drop. I don't mind a single Widowmine. At least this was a double, not a triple like in game 1. Not as big of a commitment. But Clem is usually so clean at dealing with that unless he's distracted elsewhere. I think more often than not, you're better boosting in, hiding the medevac with the Widowmines in the back, and then waiting until Clem's distracted, and going in at the same time as something else. I think the point of a Widowmine drop, you Terran players especially, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, against a guy who's playing safe is just to pin his units at home. Against a guy who's aggressive, it's to do damage, because he doesn't have as many units, as much focus at home. Or if you're attacking somewhere else, then you can look for doing damage, but I think he might be trying to force it right now. Raven taking damage. Apparently Percival upset beyond 2-1 today, guys. We just got an update. Hero and Percival playing in the other side of the bracket semis. Oh, only 2 auto turrets get down. And Q is trying to force damage right now in a situation where I really think he's overcommitting. But Hellion Reaper might make the most of it. Gets himself a probe. 4 probes in total. Not terrible for the medevac, but kind of bad to lose the Raven. That being said, Stim +1 and shields moving across. There's no medevacs with it just yet. They are coming. They should be boosting forwards as quickly as possible. That Reaper's still alive in the main base, but charge is done, as are sentries and stalkers. I think Clem is miles ahead. If this push doesn't find damage and that Colossus joins the fray, it's already coming. It's already here. I think this is a huge mistake for Cure. A huge mistake. Medevac's pulling back. Zealots and Stalkers trying to run backwards. Ooh! Colossus going to start to pick things away as well. Stalker's taking a lot of damage. Colossus trying to pick things off. The Bio's coming forwards. Zealot's charging forwards as well, but I think the Bio, even though he's getting a few valuable Stalker kills and an Observer, Clem holding on, keeping the Sentry alive is the most important thing. He has a 4th building, 62 probes, 8 gate production, and he's moving out to put spotters up here, pylons potentially, so that there's no chance for Cure to distract him with a sneaky drop in the main. That 3rd base is so much later than the 3rd of the Protoss. That being said, Cure I've seen make many, many wins from this sort of situation where it feels like he's 1.5 bases behind. But it's all about the army efficiency, and so far he has not found that. With the 3rd Colossus almost out against a guy with only 2 Vikings. Texan Clem's advantage. The only thing that's not is his unit count is still a little sparse. He's only got like 8 Zealots, 8 Stalkers. So as his army gets a bit bigger, and those 3 Colossus with extended Thermalance and +1 get together, it'll be good. That being said, his +1 is kind of late as well. Zealots trying to pull back in the north. The Bio's coming forward. Zealot does go down. A couple of SCVs fall as well. Bio moving around right now. Disruptors are building 2nd Robo and 2nd Forge. Clem's just going to get everything in the late game now. He's pushed Cure back to his side of the map and he said, yeah, you're no longer a threat. You're chilling? You're going to late game? No worries. I'm going to go to late game as well. He could start a 5th base any moment. I do love the scan on the Observer. It's going to make the Widow Mines just buy him a few seconds of time. Decent first shot. Fake Prism going into the main. Zealot run by on that side as well. It's just a scouting Warp Prism, right? He just wants to get a rise out of Cure and get a scout at the same time. Speaking of rising, that's what Bread does. And then it becomes crusty after being out for half an hour. You're wrong, Twitch chat. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I don't know how long that's... It was a whole best of 3. But you guys are like, it was only 20 minutes. Oh, I think that first game was like 28 minutes between Cure and Creator, wasn't it? And the second game wasn't too short either, so... Probably closer to an hour, guys. And like I said, there's strong aircon in here. It's a small room, and I think the air vent's right above it. So it's just, you know, if you got a lot of air blowing on something... That's literally what causes things to go bad. It's air, right? You guys ever leave a bag of chips wide open? You know, crisps, as you guys might call them. For a few hours, that's just how... Whereas if it's in, like, a place with no draft, like, you could leave a piece of bread out, exposed, but in your pantry with the door closed, it's gonna last a lot longer. No, it was not toasted either. If it was toasted, you wouldn't notice anything, obviously. And like I said, it was just the top of the top piece of bread that was exposed was just starting to feel a little crusty. You know when you press a piece of bread and it doesn't have that nice, delicious, pillowy softness? It's sad. That's all. It's all right. It's all good. You guys can stop fighting about it now. There's an argument for a good stale Cheeto at times. I would say if you found it in someone else's Cheeto bag, if you paid for it, nah. But I think anything that's free tastes better. Disruptors, no storm, guys. Look at this. Clem believes in the power of the disruptors. I've been talking about you got to go disruptors because you just need a way to force the Terran to engage, and disruptors have extreme range, extreme damage. We know that Q is not the best at dodging them either. That being said, disruptors chew up your supply. 6 disruptors is 24 supply, and they don't one-shot units, but they do shoot faster than they used to, and a lot of Protoss players have forgotten that. They don't realize these shoot every 17 seconds. They used to shoot every 21 seconds. In amongst the many nerfs they've had, there is one little sneaky buff. Disruptors firing on the right side and the left at the same time. One of them barely goes down before its shot can connect. The next shots, though, are starting to land. But the Vikings taking down the Colossus. Clem may have gone too deep. He's getting chased down. He doesn't have a prism or anything here. He's going to have to get into a lot more disruptors to try and deal with this. Lands a good shot there. And you can see he keeps re-engaging because he wants to bait stims. He knows with only 4 medevacs, Kua can't heal this army very well. And Kua now is on 14 Vikings against someone with only 1 Colossus. And this is what we were talking about in the previous series. Kua versus Creator. Creator in these sort of scenarios would keep rebuilding Colossus. Well, in one of the games he did. You've got to swap off the Colossus. And then if you clear all these Vikings in a fight, that's when you swap back into them. But you don't want to be building Colossus into a guy with 14 Vikings. Gold bases mining, immense amount of resources for Clem as he's up now on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases. But a 4-base Terran can turtle for a little while. And as long as Kua eventually gets the 5th, we'll be able to go toe-to-toe. For now, though, he's only got 2 Ghosts and no Libs. And he desperately needs Libs against these Disruptors. Here we go. Now everyone's arguing about the difference between stale and crusty. Guys, just Google it. But actually look up the dictionary. Stop using the stupid AI summary. Don't. That thing lies all the time. It's very inconsistent. I will settle this argument after this game. Yeah, I think a little crusty is different to stale, I would say, guys. But I don't know, could be wrong. Need to look it up. Stalker Zealot Disruptor in the south getting split up. I think Clem may have split his army a bit more than he should have here. I'm also wondering where Psystorm is. Oh, he's going to go Blink DT instead. Oh, this army gets caught. I mean, Clem, he's got 25 Zealots, but they're not really useful. He needs a lot more splash damage. Less basic units, more splash damage. And he's just whiffing right now. This is bad fights for Clem. He does have 4 Robos. He's trying to rebuild 4 at a time. He lands! That's it. You see, it's when your opponent's stretched out like this, that's where you can start to land hits. But Clem is trying to fight here. He's got a lot of Stalker Zealot collapsing on that right side. Does take out a few of those units. That Ghost YOLOs into the front line, gets himself killed. Clem's got to pull away and wait for the Disruptors. He can give up a base or 2, but he can't be trading like this for much longer. He's trading kind of awkwardly. And he's got to get those next 4 Disruptors on the front line right now. Probe's going to be trying to pull away. Disruptors need to go forwards. Stalkers, Zealots, and Disruptors coming forwards. Oh, he's going to fire. But Kua fires first. Guns down the Disruptors before they can connect. And Clem has an immense amount of money. He's decided he can trade inefficiently and still win. I think he's being a bit too cavalier. I know that's kind of the way he plays StarCraft, but 7,000 resources lost? It's a bit too much. And now he doesn't have the gas bank or anything like that to go DTs. And the thing is, so I really feel Storm stops Terran from chasing into you. And look at how few ghosts he's had all this game. He's only lost 3. He's only got 7. It's only a 10 of total. I think there could have been some big storms stopping Kua from chasing him. With Disruptors, you want to kind of sit on the edge and just take pot shots at him and move in, move out. Problem is, Terran can jump on you. That's what Kua did. Storm is specifically a... What do we... Say it with me, chat. Zoning tool. It's a zoning tool that also kills things. Like, it's a zoning tool now. It doesn't do damage anymore. It still does good damage, but nowhere near what it used to be. It does such good zoning, and I think it's really good for keeping the Terran from jumping on you. You gotta be careful, because you can tell Clem wants to get his Disruptors close enough that you can't easily dodge the shots, but then the Disruptors are exposed to getting clicked on before the shot connects. And he's throwing the shots 2 at a time, which is very wasteful. He's got to stop that. Unless he's very deep on the Terran army, he should only be throwing 1 at a time. Otherwise, you end up exhausting them all. But they do fire non-stop. You can see they do recharge a little bit quicker now. Clem's on 90 probes, which means his army is very small. He's going to need to find room to get into those DTs. I'd love to see some gateways up on the far north in here. Doesn't really have a warp-in point close to this. He's got 16 gates, which is good. Oh! He lands a big shot down south. Caduceus reactor's been upgraded, which means the medevacs heal at twice the rate and have double the energy regen. Oh! Another big disruptor! Dude, big disruptors starting to land. You can see, Clem's just like, if I just micro for 5 minutes, you're going to start to make mistakes because you can't keep up with this pace. Clem loves this pace of StarCraft. It's all about clicking, multitasking, micro, managing many things. That's how Clem likes to play. Kua is a slower, older tier of pro gamer. who comes from the era before kids played mouse accuracy games for 16 hours a day to perfect their control. You know, this is the pre-trigger days of being the king of playing Osu and this sort of rhythm click games, which are all about mouse accuracy and just having such insane mechanics. Q is good. He's very good. He's very clever. He's stable under pressure, but Clem is just really holding his feet to the fire in terms of keeping the fighting going. And there's a real danger of Q getting worn down. That being said, he's established a 5th. He's maxed out. Clem's bank is not that big. Link DT did get made, and the gas count's starting to grow. Clem might go for a DT warp in at some point. Also, this northern base undefended right now. I think Clem should be really stretching out his multitasking. Clem just killed 7 of his own zealots. Very derpy engage there. Real big mistake. A few Colossus arrive on the front. One of them out in the open, though. Disruptor's whiffing there. One of the Colossus goes down. 2 more do arrive. Whoa, he lands a big Disruptor shot. 5 Marauder corpses go flying. Libs are trying to siege up here. The Stalker's blinking forward. Clem realizes with 16 gateways, he might be able to just momentum his way through this. Balls! Balls! Cry havoc and let loose the balls of war. I didn't realize Clem knew about Shakespeare, guys. I thought these gamer kids didn't know anything about anything outside of gamer culture. Who knows? He's probably quoting some sort of friggin' meme off of the internet. Probably doesn't even know that quote. Disruptors, Stalkers, and Zealots moving around. Because I'm sure they learned a lot of Shakespeare in France, guys. That's got to be the main thing they learned. Who's the Shakespeare of France? Let me know in the comments. Colossus and Disruptors. Very little support here. Not a lot of anti-air. Some Storm would be amazing for hitting the air units. That medevac count is out of control. Finally, the Zealots find that undefended 3rd. Does he stop the command center building? No, he doesn't. He's going to get right on that mineral line. And he's going to go into the natural in the production as well. Q is maxed, or almost maxed, which means he doesn't have any units popping out. A Widow Mine, a little bit of bio. Can it hold on against an avalanche of Zealots? Well, if he sieges the Lib, I think it can. Disruptor goes down there. The Lib's starting to zone him away from his own ramp. I think Q might be able to do this if he can stabilize. Losing the SCVs does not lose him this game. As long as he eventually stabilizes at his natural, it's all about this fight, main army versus main army. There's no way to fight the air units. Clem needs to go around this army. And the problem is, look at how long his route around is. I think he might be screwed. If he doesn't go around, he cannot fight into the Libs. And yeah, with no Storm, he can't really stop the Libs all sieging on his face as well. A lot of SCVs went down there. Pig, I think you lost 20 supply of units dying to a ball. No, that was SCVs. He lost like 30 SCVs there, guys. 27 SCVs just went down. I think the Bio Ball's still the same size. Bio Ball was a little bit smaller there. Clem's still got 16 gateways. He's going to go Prism speed, Warp Prism, a few cannons around the edges. I can go back and check, though. Tell me the timestamp. Libs, Bio, Ghost moving forward on the right side. DTs get the planetary. Oh! Clem's happy to give up a base. He doesn't want to lose the top right, though. But a base for a base is so good for Protoss. It's so good for Protoss. And now he knows, go past. Do stop letting yourself get pinned. Getting pinned defensively is very, very bad. I know a lot of you Americans apparently don't call them clothes pegs. You call them clothespins. So you've been very confused when I say pegged, because apparently that's a naughty word. It's a clothes peg, guys. Get with the program. But I will sometimes say pinned as well. It means the exact same thing. Bio is going to do some damage, take out the top right, but with another planetary going down, Clem's happy with these trades. He's still got the gold. He's rebuilding this base. He's still got all of his probes alive, which you could argue is maybe even too many probes. Disruptor finds the Marines. Corpses go flying. More Disruptors land on the Ghosts as well. WTF is a clothes peg? I just explained it. I just explained it. Yes, it's a stale clothespin. That's right. Oh, the balls! The Libs are facing the wrong direction. But a lot of the units are going to die on the way out. He does lose a lot of Disruptors and Stalkers, but I think he's just going to be way quicker to replenish. Oh, Q comes in with a flank. He says, no, I can't let you get away with that. The Libs trying to use their anti-air mode, which they're just not as effective at. And that's going to be enough. Clem is so good in these late games, man. I've been loving watching Clem in late game PvT lately. Because, like, I still think Terran's a little favored there, technically, in a lot of the interactions. But Clem has such a deep understanding of how to micro the engagements. And I actually think he's still missing a lot of details. I think he could have been multi-pronging this base with Zealots and the natural the whole time. I think he could have been forcing Q's multitasking by doing this Prism in the back door on that left side where there was only one turret the whole time, and Q would have crumbled much quicker. But as it is, it's his main army micro on the engagements that's so insanely good, and that really is the secret to his success in the late game of this matchup. Excellent play for Clem. And here on the big macro map, which, you know, we usually think favors Protoss because it's hard to kill them early, but then favors Terran if it gets to the big mega late game. It's not necessarily the case. That being said, this map maybe doesn't favor Terran in the mega late game because there's these corner bases that are so hard for Terran to push, and so Protoss does get quite a few extra bases that it's hard for Terran to get past 5 bases ever. And it was indeed when he moved out of the map where Clem started to pick him apart a little bit. There's no scans left, chat says. There's only 4 orbitals. No scans is a real problem. Still 1 DT in the natural. That's so annoying. Finally gets another scan for that one. +3 plasma shields, oh, +2, sorry, is done. Gases up on the gold as well. Oh, nice lip siege. Pig just likes getting pegged. I have had people clip clothes pegs on me a bunch. I feel like I have a memory of someone sticking one on my nose once as a child. I think it hurt. Zealots in the main base, the Vikings going up there to deal with the Warp Prism. Oh, can he get the orbital? Get the orbital and run away. The Stalkers can get it. Yeah, Clem knows the power of killing an orbital, but he doesn't get the extra volley. That would have been worth a few Stalkers, I think. But look at that. Prism gets in, rotates, gets more Zealots warped in. Oh, he's being a proper nuisance, isn't he? A proper nuisance is Clem. He's rebuilt his economy behind it, and he's going to take out these orbitals. The army's out of position. Oh, the Disruptor's going to go down, maybe. Oh, the Orbital's almost died to the Disruptor, but it does survive. Man, it's so weird watching Disruptors only do 100 damage to buildings. They used to do 145. It looks so wrong. The fact that Disruptors used to be a 3-supplier unit that did almost 50% more, their damage versus buildings sucks now. Same when you're shooting Thors or tanks in a mech game. It does feel very wrong. Look at what they did to my poor balls. My poor balls. They were so promising. They had such a future ahead of them. And they came and they nerfed my poor balls. Can I say, man? A proper kick to the kick to the nads for the balls over the years. To be fair, balls have been one of the most divisive units in StarCraft 2. Many players have been triggered into Alt F4ing their StarCraft client after getting hit by a big disruptor shot from the Fog of War. I would be lying if I said I didn't have infinite highlight reels of me ruining people's days with disruptors. Stalker's blinking forward. Nice moves for Clem. Nice move for Clem. Clem's movement. Oh, you can just see, like, there are technically ways to deal with this. Obviously, earlier in the game, Kyo's army barely the same size and with no economy to back it up now. But it's just one of those things where once he gets you on the ropes and he starts opening up weaknesses and the DT's distract here, his army's rotating to the right, rotating to the left, there's just no way to get there. He's even adding Psystorm finally. Still no Stargate, no Mothership or anything like that, no Fleet Beacon. But yeah. Hey guys, were there any bangers today that I should watch? Definitely go watch the game 1 of the previous series, Kua vs. Creator. Freaking fantastic game. What's a group of disruptors called? A group of balls? A testes? I mean, what else? High Templar from the right, he lands his first Psystorm! Good Psystorm Colossus combo. Blinking onto the tower was so incredibly greedy. And yet Clem still does alright in that fight. He's just so far ahead. Yeah, you could call it a sack as well. Jeez, take your pick, guys. This is beautiful play for Clem, man. I mean, I really thought this was looking quite even for a while, and then once Clem props him open, the problem is the libs need to be perfectly sieged in the right direction, but you don't have enough bio to fully guard them. Your lib count's too low to cover 2 entrances at once. It's just an impossible scenario. Blinks forward, takes out that lib. You can see the bio lib trying to push forward. Clem just kills the orbital, fades away. Top there. Oh, he's doing cute. Clem's trying to steal his base and mine from it, which is hilarious. DT is going to kill the Ghost if you're not watching. Ghost can take 2+3 Dark Templar shots without dying now. That's actually one of the few interactions I haven't really paid attention. I didn't realize that. Because a +3 DT does, is it 60 damage, guys? And they got 125 life now, plus the 3 armor, so it's 57 damage. Yeah, wow. I was kind of shocked. I was like, how did the 2 DT hits not kill the Ghost? But that's the new 125 hit point Ghost. Clem there with some fantastic play. I mean, I've seen him do this on Old Republic. I've seen him do this on Taito Citadel. I think he would struggle to do this on 10,000 feet because the equivalent of these expansions would be in the middle, right outside the Terran base, and you can't really get that like proper economic lead going, where you probably need to do a lot better in the early mid game and that sort of thing. So I kind of hope we get to see another late game in this series, but on a smaller, more cramped map where it could favor Cure a bit more. All right, guys, Cure in the bottom right side of the map. No scout for him. There was a probe in here being a bit of a nuisance, but it's a pretty chilled out gateway. Nexus into Cybercore Scout, I believe. Nothing too crazy, and a double gas opening for Cure is going to go factory there as well. Oh, okay, guys, did you guys end up voting what was the term for a group of disruptors? I'm going to stick with a testes. I think maybe, or a sack. Probably just a sack. Sack of balls moving around. No, I don't think I can use either of those consistently in a cast. Sorry, guys. It'll get a bit too weird. Guys, people are raging at AI now. I love it. I mean, yeah, definitely. There's a good reason. Good reason. Fair call. All right, Reaper's going to come in. Stalker's out on time. Oh, he's going double Stalker. I've seen a lot more double Stalker recently. I think it's just, you know, if you know you're dealing with potentially 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion, if you can get 2 or 3 Stalkers out, they're not vulnerable to the Hellion bonus to light. Much easier to just shoot them down with their ranged target fire and not get anything killed. He's going to build a battery in the main. So if Reapers jump in the main, that's defended by the battery, and then the Stalkers can cover the natural. Twilight Council and a 3rd Stalker, which means if it's 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion, that hits about 320, 325. This Stalker will pop just as that's running in. So very good timing, good preparation for Clem, but the natural's wide open. One of those Stalkers out of position and a slow response. I often feel like 2 Reaper Hellion is the one that people underestimate. It's a much lighter commitment. It often finds pretty decent amounts of damage. The battery in the main will save the day, and that's something Cure is going to be a bit frustrated that he went to the main. Of course, didn't know about the battery, and he will grab one more probe or save the Reaper. He gets to choose, and he says, I will save the Reaper. Not a bad choice. Guys, stop posting AI and definitions in the chat. We're going to move on now. Yeah. Stop it. I'm going to ban you guys. Mods can get on it as well. Stalkers coming in right now for the pressure. Bunkers are there as well. Ooh-wee. Guys, I had a pizza the other day with mortadella, pistachios, and stracciatella on it. Don't know if I'm saying that right. I never say Italian words right. It's part of being Australian. Ooh, watch out, watch out, watch out. It was really good. What was the best kind of weird/interesting pizza you guys had recently? Let me know. Because that was actually surprisingly good. I was like, that sounds weird. Let's try it. It was great. Little bits of roasted pistachio on it. It was pretty yum, man. And cheese was great. Nice Widowmine burrow unburrow so far. I like that Q is creating chaos, but I worry that Clem is so good in this sort of game because he's still got the quick 3rd up, and the scrappier it gets, the better Clem tends to be. Now, this is a map where I've seen a lot of times recently Stalkers blink in air, and then they just run forwards and kill the tank. You got to be really wary this main base positioning. But there we go. Yeah, no, Q is really safe on his wall off. Very nicely done. eBay and 3rd gas have gone down. Medevac's still there. Units lost tab is 2-1 in Clem's favor, and he has a quick 3rd. He may be running away with this series. Obviously, it's only a small lead for now, but with Q is so paranoid about the blink aggression and not knowing about the 3rd Nexus, he's misreading what's happening in this game. He's worried about 3 or 4 gate blink aggro, and he needs to be worried about attacking. This is a greedy defensive Clem, not an aggressive one. Bacon and fig pizza was really good. Wow, orange chicken pizza? Wow, it had broccoli and orange chicken on it. It was actually really good. That's awesome. That sounds so weird. Pizza Bianca, goat's cheese, walnuts, and honey. Oh, that sounds really good, X-Squiff. Oh, hot take buffalo chicken pizza. It was really good. Nice. 2 kinds of meat, buffalo and chicken. I've noticed it's really, like, I've always been a bit surprised because I know it's, obviously they don't have wings, but like which part of the buffalo do they use to make the buffalo wild wings? And are they actually like wild buffaloes, or is it just like a advertising thing? Can you guys explain that? 3 barracks factory and a starporter up. I baited you guys. I baited you. You can hit enter on the comments. This is what we call engagement farming. I'm joking. That was too obvious. 4 stalkers are there. 2 in the back, still stopping the medevac as well. Oh, we're gonna go forward with a tank. Couple tanks, bunch of bios, stim shields +1. Look at Clem's timing, guys. This is why playing standard against Clem, it works so well. But if you've lost the early game, similar to game 1, even though this wasn't as greedy for Clem, look at that. Marauders Marines get picked down just for 4 stalkers. But look at the timing. Colossus will be ready, Charge will be ready, and a sentry with Guardian Shield. This, if you go forward, and especially if you engage in range of the battery, this army will get mauled by Zealots. Colossus will roast the Marines. Your tanks will go down here instantly. Kua has to be cautious. He's got to be cautious with this push. He's a bit blind. He scans. Doesn't know the army's on the right side. I think going back is the right call. Good choice for Kua. I thought this might be like game 1 on Tourmaline where the tanks just got obliterated. Bio got blasted. But no, this is a bit better. Gonna move to the right side. Double drop joining up. Is this to unload or will he simply join the army? It looks like an army join. Still looking for that fight. He's trying to like kind of bait Clem into a fight in the open perhaps. He knows Clem loves a fast 4th base. Just by threatening, Q has kept him off this 4th for probably a minute longer than Clem wanted. So he's already done something. And remember, Clem's upgrades are kind of late. There's a lot of players who feel like, oh, Colossus are no good without upgrades. Clem, he's got the early sentries, the blink, the zealots. He's got so many pieces to this puzzle. The stalkers have moved into the natural because he's worried about a drop there. He doesn't have enough stalkers to one-shot a medevac though. Remember, it takes 8 stalkers. Sorry, 9 to one-shot a medevac. If you have 5, you can 2-shot them. 6 here. Kua goes in. Quickly turns around upon seeing those stalkers. How does anyone know where Estrella is? I actually haven't messaged Estrella. If you remind me after this game, I can send him a message, see what he's up to. I know he was a bit passionless for a little bit after EWC, and I imagine he's kind of figuring out what he's doing next, maybe retiring, but hasn't announced anything, so I think he's keeping it open. He might just get the hankering to grind again. I really hope we see him play more because he's such a unique and fascinating player to watch play. Ping, was the last time you were at a live venue casting a live match? I don't think I've done anything since Stellarfest in November. In Canada. Ottawa. Ottawa, Canada. The government city of Canada. Very exciting place. Went across the river. Everyone was French. It was very fun. The poutine was very nice. Had some good beer. Also, very exciting time, guys. It was the week when they do the budget in Canada when we were there. Very exciting. The public servants. Very busy. They're like, it's the budget week. Woo! You're like, this is the Canberra of Canada. Canberra is the capital of Australia. It's a very boring, cold city. No one wants to go there. That's why we made the politicians go there. No offense to local Canberrans, but you guys know I'm right. Maybe a little brutal, but it is facts. 4th command center is almost finished. 2nd starport's on the way. Oh, Clem's getting up to 3rd Robo and DTs. Okay, so Q is going to turtle. I think he's got to play lib range a bit earlier and just slow the game down, turtle it up, play super chill. This is like a poking squad. This is I don't want to invest anything that I actually care about losing. It's just 8 Marines in a medevac. Clear a pylon, kill the probe, and then run to the corner. Or hide. Yep. There's no Stargate yet for Clem, which I do think is a mistake. There we go, he drops it. I was casting a game earlier. A creator refused to build the Stargate on this map. You have to build a Stargate. Just to build a single Phoenix, because Libs can get here. Libs can deny like 4 or 5 different bases without getting shot in return. There's so many bases on this map that are exposed to Liberators. Bio's there. Anti-arm missile goes down on the Stalker. Good disruptor dodge. Q walks back forwards a bit too early. And a Marauder gets punished for it. Nexus in the top side. 6 more gateways. Clem is powering up right now. His upgrades are a little late, like I said. +2 armors on the way and stuff. And Clem's going to build a Phoenix, clear this medevac, and then clear the other one. Now, I would argue, guys, build a few cannons around instead. And then your opponent's got 4 supply wasted there, 10 supply. That's 14 dead supply. And if Kua forgets about these, That's good. You don't leave any stalkers. You leave no supply. They're just cannons to defend it. And you go do that. Q is going to come in, find a bit of damage. +2 ship weapons, and Caduceus is on the way. And this is going to be a real test of how well... Oh, he's got to scan to see the high ground. The medevac died, so he can't see the stalkers on the high ground. Clem blinked them back thinking they were going to die. We'll eventually clean this up. Oh, big fight in the middle. Oh, Q is still eating disruptors, but the Vikings get a Colossus. The anti-armor missile really boosts the Vikings. They do 2 attacks, so they get double boost from it. Oh my gosh, Q eats another ball. Then again, Clem derping, loses 15 probes. That's still, I think the army loss is probably more impactful though than the 15 probes. Clem is going to take all these middle bases now. 3-3, 4 libs. Lib range starts up, +2 ship weapons, and 4 more command centers. Q needs to be really friggin' careful. I want to see him turtle this up and force Clem into like Tempests. If Clem goes Tempests, then I want to see Q dive on the map. But until then, I want to see Q turtle like a mother. Mother trucker, as some would say. The best kind of truckers, usually our mums. Dedication, you know, driving those long ice truck road trips, eh? Definitely what I was going to say. 4th Robo's on the way, +3 armor as well. Ship weapons coming in +2. 3 starports on reactors. Very quick to rebuild medevacs and libs. But, oh, he's going to lose a CC for free. 1 command center is not the end of the world. He's built like 12 at a time, so as long as he plays slow, he's good. Oh, the Stalkers just dive! He knew that Q wasn't ready for that. He wasn't expecting it. And the bio was a bit too far back. You got to have the bio a bit further forward, so you've got room to like stutter step back, dodging disruptors and stuff. Can't leave those libs exposed. Clem realized, he's like, you know what? Terrans normally don't expect you to just headbutt into the Liberators. You need to have the stim bio, the EMPs there ready. If you EMP and stim, all the Stalkers just die. They only get 1 lib. That tank's still anchoring the position. Another tank on the right side as well, helping out. DT's tried to run in the right side, but there's a turret there. Got Warp Prism speed coming in. Lib sieging on the left. Disruptors go for the turret. They don't even take it out. They do set it on fire. Anti-armor missiles have been consistent. 6 more libs building. That'll be 12. There's a Stargate out, but no sign of a fleet beacon just yet. Oh, disruptors! Taking out quite a few Marauders and Marines. Oh my lord. Command center trying to land. Is that going to get focused? I think it will. It's a lot of disruptors, and Q should have secured the area before he took it. But you know what? He gets it up. That could have been much worse. DT's on the right side, still threatening. With no extra support, I really worry that these DTs go inside the base. But oh my gosh, he got pushed back! I thought Q had the position! His libs must have been caught re-sieging in a different position. His bio count getting hammered. Where's the rest of the bio, mate? A bit of it's on the right side. The PF goes down. The DTs blink in. A bunch of them go down. Actually, the Widow Mine only gets the splash damage. Most of the DTs survive. And Clem picking him apart. Disruptors on one side. DTs on the other. And it really does feel like Clem here is abusing his micro and his multitasking against a Q who he knows is not as fast as him. He says, you can't play as fast as me, mate. You need to have these things locked down. You can't be counting on your reaction speed because it's not enough. Even with the quick EMP, the DTs blink on top, take out the Ghost, the Stalkers, take out a bunch of libs, start to shoot down the Vikings as well. The Disruptors covering the retreat. Dude, he's a menace. And now you can tell he's confident and he knows Q is making mistakes and he can get away with even more. You can tell he's playing like a bit greedier, a bit more in your face because he's like, oh, you're making mistakes. I can get away with this and you're not going to be quick enough to punish it. He's getting a bit cheekier with his movement. And Q has to GG. Wow. Clem's late game looking really good. To be fair, Q has looked a little shaky in the late games when he's played against like Max Backs and Hero and stuff. I don't think he's like the king of late game. But I think Clem there really showing a lot of faith in the Disruptor. And this is always what's funny is at the start of this patch, Clem said Disruptors are worthless. And then a month or two ago when we were asking him and he's like, him and Trigger were like, Disruptors are the most underrated unit in StarCraft 2 right now. Disruptors are actually really good at forcing trades in TVP. They're not the most amazing unit, but they're the one where you can kind of force trades and get in there and chip at the Terran and kind of make them constantly have to dodge. And then your Stalkers can blink in and focus some stuff and you can run back and cover your retreat. Really nice game for Clem. He gets a 3-1 victory and goes to the finals.